Jennifer Lawrence is making headlines over the past few days, and she's going and doing some interviews, and she's saying things like, look, I look back at these old interviews I did, and I get it why people hated me. I kind of come off as really annoying. And, you know, it's true, Jennifer, when you go out there and claim that you are the first action female hero, yeah, that can come off as a little cringe and a little annoying, especially when it's so blatantly untrue. But beyond that, Jennifer Lawrence has been very outspoken previously about her politics, which is, just like so many people in the Hollywood echo chamber, incredibly far left and pretty hateful of anybody that's not that. Well, apparently, Jennifer Lawrence is kind of done talking about it, not changing her viewpoints, but she's kind of realized that there's no fucking point because no one gives a fuck about anything celebrities say anymore. Jennifer Lawrence says criticizing Trump adds fuel to a fire ripping the country apart. Celebrities don't make a difference on who people vote for. Now, this was all, coming from the Interview podcast, which is a New York Times podcast. And it was asking about, political stuff, how she handles it, blah, blah, blah. And very famously, I think in the aftermath of the 2016 election, Jennifer Lawrence wrote this big op-ed blasting Trump and blasting anybody like in the country who voted for him and essentially saying you're only going to be safe in this country if you're a straight white male. All this same bullshit that we've seen so many times from these people in Hollywood. And now she's saying something different. And some people think she's pandering. Some people think she's trying to get those people to watch her again. Or maybe she's just come to a realization that as hard as we fucking fought for 8 fucking years against this guy, none of it does any good. And people aren't watching our movies anymore. So even if I do hold these opinions, maybe I just won't fucking talk about them. Maybe it's taken a decade for some people to finally realize that that might be a good idea. Actress Jennifer Lawrence spent years pushing left-wing policies, trashing Republicans, and smearing President Donald Trump. Now she says it's beginning to dawn on her that celebrities constantly spouting off about politics not only hurts the film industry, but it's ripping the country apart. Appearing on the Interview podcast, the podcast host tried to steer the 35-year-old mother star towards her thoughts on politics. The actress demurred, I don't really know if I should. The first Trump administration was so wild, and just how can we let this stand? I felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, she said, speaking of her previous political proclamations. So when a lot of people say that they think she's pandering, this is why I don't like. She's very much saying that she still feels the same exact way about Trump. And I feel like she was pandering, she would be trying to say something else. I don't know if she's smart enough to pander. I think it took her 10 years to realize this basic fact. But as we've learned election after election, celebrities do not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for. So then what am I doing? I'm just sharing my opinion on something that's going to add fuel to a fire that's ripping the country apart. We are so divided, she admitted. She went on to say she's beginning to lean away from talking about her political ideas. I think I'm in a complicated recalibration because I'm also an artist. With this temperature, the way things can turn out, I don't want to start turning people off to films and to art that could change consciousness or change the world because they don't like my political opinions. I want to protect my craft so you can still get lost in what I'm doing. And if I can't say something that's going to speak to some kind of peace or lowering the temperature or some sort of solution, I don't want to be part of the problem. I don't want to make the problem worse. She added she's noticed many other actors who constantly blabber on and on about politics have turned off a huge number of fans who might otherwise have watched their shows or films. Quote, you watch these actors' faces who have had incredible careers, make incredible contributions, and then one half of the internet doesn't want to see their face anymore. I get so upset for those people, and it feels so wrong. And then she goes on to say, where she wants to express her opinions are through her work. Now, movies that she's decided to make with her new production company or whatever the fuck. Listen, I think this is somebody who it took them 10 years to fucking realize that all the celebrities are saying the exact same things. And it doesn't fucking matter. She also would go on to say that people voted for this. So that if she's attacking that, she feel like she's attacking the fucking audience. Where the fuck was it? Oh, Lawrence added she now regrets speaking out so forcefully on politics and also noted the American people actually voted for Trump's policies, so who is she to go on the attack? I regret everything I've ever said or done, she said, only half in jest. The second Trump term feels different because he said what he was going to do. We know what he did for 4 years. He was very clear, and that's what we chose. So that's Jennifer Lawrence. Whether you think she's pandering, whether you think she's desperately trying to get people to watch her movies again, whether you think that maybe she's come to some slow fucking realization about the reality that no one gives two fucks about being preached to by a fucking Hollywood elitist that has nothing in common with the everyday average American, I couldn't tell you that. I can tell you that more people need to wake the fuck up to this and realize this because it's the reality, right? Truthfully, do I really care what Jennifer Lawrence's opinion is on politics? No, I don't. I assume that most people in fucking Hollywood are to the left. It's when it gets to a point where not only do they hold that opinion, but they're fucking constantly out there spouting it, and it's you're unable to disconnect that person with what they say in real life when it comes to their politics, and so much of their politics is just fucking vitriolic hatred towards anyone in middle America, anyone that didn't vote the same way that they do in their Hollywood fucking bubble. That's what really turns people off. So when it comes to Jennifer Lawrence, we'll see. We'll see how long this sticks up, if she sticks by this motto of not talking about politics, because even though she doesn't like it, everybody else voted for it apparently, and she actually wants people to show up and see her movies. We'll see how long that this lasts until maybe she changes her mind and starts speaking up again. I hope for her sake and every fucking celebrity's sake, for their own sake, they should shut the fuck up about politics, especially because no one listens to what they have to say anyway.